This is depressing. Since last year, I've been looking for a specifically remote job online and I can't find anything. I put in tons of applications and I get tons of rejection emails. I'm starting to think that a lot of these jobs are what they say ghost jobs.
Have any of you guys applied for a job, not heard anything back, basically been ghosted, and then a week later, that same job is posted on Indeed or in LinkedIn? And then you keep seeing the same jobs reposted, reposted, reposted. What is going on with this? Well, there is a strategy known as pipelining, which is basically where you put a job posting up, get applicants, get a ton of information for future candidates. And the idea is that when you actually need to hire for the position, instead of starting from scratch and having to find someone and having to put a new job posting on, you can literally go to your ATS and you can find candidates that are already interested in the position. I am not a fan of this practice because, let's face it, just because you're interested in a job one day doesn't mean that in a year you're still going to be interested in the same job.
There are now only about 4 hires for every 10 job listings. If you are applying endlessly and never hearing back, even for things that you are a perfect match for, ghost jobs could be the reason. Ghost jobs aren't necessarily scams. They're posted by real companies. There are currently no laws to ban or regulate ghost jobs, but they are so frustrating. Why are they posted? Why are employers doing this? 38% of companies are posting these jobs just to maintain a presence on job boards. 25% want to get a sense of how hard it would be to replace a current employee. 26% want to build a talent pool for the future, which is good news because if you apply to one, at least maybe your application will be saved. 36% post to test the effectiveness of the job description.
I was today years old when I found this out. Did you know the job you're applying for might not actually exist? So recently there's been a rise of job postings on the internet called ghost jobs. And what these are fake or outdated job postings that companies never actually planned to hire for. And there was actually a survey with job employers on why they post fake job postings. This includes trying to keep current employees motivated, trying to give the impression that the company was growing, and just to collect an active pool of applicants in case of turnover.
Baby, they're not playing about the job market. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. Every single job that I have ever interviewed for or even called about, I have gotten on the spot or either did my first interview and they called me back literally that day or within 24 hours and gave me the job. I thought I was going crazy. I was like, do I need to revamp my resume? Like, I was all on Indeed. I was all on LinkedIn. Like, I was everywhere, baby, with my resume. Everywhere. I'm talking about, like, I have applied. Like, I'll have to, like, post, like, a screenshot of my Indeed on how many jobs I applied to. It took me has it been 4 months now? Maybe 3 months. It's been almost 3 months trying to find a new job. So if you see them videos that pop up on TikTok saying don't quit your job, baby, don't.
I used to post ghost jobs, which are fake jobs to encourage our current employees to work harder. These jobs will be fake jobs, so you can apply for the listing, but not actually get hired. They're called ghost jobs. You're probably wondering, I applied for all these places, why am I not getting callbacks? You might have applied for a ghost job, which isn't a real job. It's just put there to show that we're looking for new hires at higher rates to get our current employees to work harder, as an incentive to make them work harder, as opposed to increasing the base pay or the base rate. And I've made maybe 300 ghost job listings. I've made a lot. I've made so many. It's insane. And what messes me up is that they're still doing it. And I got into a little bit of a scuffle, a fracas, one might say, with my previous hire manager. My hire manager said, hey, you stopped posting ghost job listings. What's going on, buddy? It's really working. It's helping our team morale. I said, listen, this is the first time I've ever said this in my life. I don't feel good about doing this. This might be the first time I've ever said that. I don't feel good about, usually I have like no moral, no ethics about anything. I just didn't feel good at all about doing it, despite the fact that I was getting a massive bag from it. And he said, well, we need somebody to do it. You're the best we've got.
Hey. Y'all some bum beatums. Oh, y'all some bum beatums. Y'all some motherfucking bum. Let me talk my shit. Roll that intro. everybody, I am the Mademoiselle and this is my channel. And as you guys can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about how a lot of jobs and a lot of people have taken it upon themselves to take the jobs of posting ghost job listings. Now, I honestly became aware of this when I was looking for a job for my mom. She was recently let go from a job that she held for the past like 5-6-ish years, and it was at a hotel. She has about like 25 some odd years experience in a hotel, and literally they let her go off some bullshit. Like, honestly, we thought it was racist. Listen. It's a very long story. I feel like I talked about it on my Patreon. If you guys are on my Patreon, you know about what I'm talking about. The point I'm trying to get at is finding a job for her was extremely difficult. I applied at so many jobs like close to me, and if you guys are not aware, I grew up in Elizabeth. I live in East Orange now, so it's like there's so many hotels here because I live very close to Newark International Airport, which my mom lives even closer to it because she lives in Elizabeth. There's so many hotels around there, so I thought finding a job for her would not be that difficult. But then I remembered getting the job that she was at currently was extremely difficult. She had to know someone in order to get that job in the first place. And you guys are probably like, well, it's just a hotel job. Like, I don't understand. To be honest, I don't understand either. I feel like part of it has to do with the fact that, I mean, you're kind of handling people's personal stuff when you're cleaning their rooms and going in their rooms and handling their transactions. So they don't just want anyone working at these types of jobs. Noted, understandable, I get it. But like when I'm telling you it was increasingly difficult, like it was just like ridiculously weird. My mom was let go May. I finally found her a job in October. I realized upon looking it up that apparently the reason it might have been hard for me to find a job for her was because there's a lot of ghost job listings. You mean to tell me companies are out here putting out fake job listings to get people to work harder and increase company morale? Let's rewind a little bit more. So as I decided to move back to North Jersey, I was in South Jersey, hated it, moved all the way back up here. I decided, okay, maybe I want a little side job, you know, because honestly, a lot of my content is very streamlined. I have a lot of free time sometimes. I was like, oh, let me find a little side job. Hence why I started teaching. I quit. Woo, cat's out the bag, y'all. If you're on the Patreon, you already know. Video coming very, very soon. It was more of a morals situation, but I'm gonna, again, talk about that soon. But finding a job for me was extremely difficult. And I have a bachelor's and a master's. Hence why I joined a fellowship program, because I was like, you know what? I do want to teach in the future more so, not now, but I did want to be a full-time dance teacher. In general, finding a job was very, very hard. I was getting offers for other shit that I didn't really care for, like more so like social media roles, like copywriter stuff. Like I don't want to do that anymore. Been there, done that. I don't care for it. But I always remember, especially back in college, I would get these fake job roles, okay? Especially these bullshit jobs for those event marketing jobs where they basically have you go door to door and they don't tell you it's a sales job, but it's a sales job and you're getting paid like $2 an hour and some peanuts and a bunch of morale and a bunch of people screaming at you, tell you how you're gonna get your own office. Chad, that's something that they don't talk about, okay? These jobs are actually usually marketed under a company called Smart Circle. Typically, these companies are under Verizon, DirecTV, PSENG. There's a lot of companies that are under this Smart Circle umbrella, and they have sales executives go to people's houses, stand in Walmart, stand in hell, basically trying to sell their services.
Attitude, really upbeat, like, can you sell yourself? And once you like get the job, they put you in this like rigorous training program where you have to like go into this office at like 7 a.m. and every like morning meeting, you're not allowed to sit down. There are no chairs. You have to wear business, like casual clothing. And you basically do this like little chant thing to like boost up the energy and get people excited to sell.
Also the mastermind. All right, so now Sarah has the opportunity to start building a team, start interviewing, and that only helps Sarah grow and inadvertently helps also Madison grow. So now she's gonna and I know she's super excited because now she also gets to run meetings. We're giving it up for Madison.
I just stumbled upon a TikTok about the term Smart Circle, and upon further research, I think I worked for a Smart Circle company. So some background of what Smart Circle means, it's usually an affiliation with a company that you won't really know about or hear about unless you directly ask them. And they will try to essentially trick you into a pyramid scheme structured job where you're promised all these things, these future things, if you do well in your job, but 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get there. So this was a retail customer service representative job I applied for, looking for kind of a summer internship to get into. And I remember leaving the interview not really sure what I was actually doing. They mentioned really vague terms like giving phone calls, being a customer service assistant. At the time, nothing screamed direct sales. I accepted the job and went along with it, and then found out very quickly that I would be selling AT&T phone service in BJ's and Sam's Clubs. Within a few weeks, I knew I was going to hate the rest of my summer, but I'd already committed to it. And I remember at the very end of summer, I was promoted to another client. That second client was called Inspire Energy. I was still walking around the stores, pitching to customers, bothering the hell out of them, trying to get them to sign up for this product. And the nature of the pitch itself for this one specifically was even more suspicious. I didn't really go into detail. I talked very quickly for this, as I was trained to, and I felt like I was tricking people to sign up for this energy company that was likely going to raise their bills. But the way we were talking about it made them feel like it was going to save them money. The worst part about it is at the end of the summer, I noticed that my checks were really short and I wasn't seeing the commission pop up. I remember being uncertain about it and texting a coworker first before mentioning it to my boss. And he sent this long, convoluted message about how it was my fault that I didn't make the commission because the customers didn't go through with the sale when I was in the store and saw them go through with the sale. Anyway, I'm really glad I left that job, and I look for those red flags today.
And it's absolutely ridiculous because it's like you literally sit there all day applying for jobs and you get a response, typically a very, very quick response, right? From these jobs, and they're always fucking shit. I'm telling you right now, they're always shit. They're always trash. And you know, you go and you get fed this promise. Oh, you're gonna have your own office. You're gonna have your own this. You're gonna have your own that. And I will say this is probably gonna be a whole nother topic for a whole nother day because I have stories for fucking days with these horrible jobs and their horrible business practices. And I have so many friends that have gotten caught up with these jobs and, you know, they're soulless practices. And it's sad. And I think it goes hand in hand with these ghost jobs because even though technically, yeah, you can make money with these door-to-door nonsenses, it's not a livable wage. A lot of them are strictly commission-based and a lot of them make false promises, again, of owning your own company and all of that. So I say all of this to say, be very, very careful out there. And if you think that you are not getting a solid job because it's you, no, it's not. There's a lot of scammers out there and there's a lot of people doing a lot of dishonest shit within the business world, and it's not right. It's not you, it's them. Before we even get into the rest of this video, I have to thank today's sponsor, SimPure. When I moved to this apartment, okay, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's actually one of the very few apartments that I looked at and I was like, oh my God, I want it. Where do I sign? Where do I apply? However, one of the main drawbacks, besides the fact that I did not have an island, which, oh my God, that was a huge drawback, okay? I did not have a water filter in the fridge. Now, you guys probably like, Yvana, you are bougie. Why? Listen, I like a lot of convenience in my life. I have ADHD, so certain little things like that, it just adds an extra task to my life. So I was so happy when SimPure reached out to me with this water filter, and it has been life changing. Yes, I could get water bottles and all of that. I could get a water tower. However, I like things to be extra simple and convenient. All I have to do is put water, okay, tap water into this. And when I want water, I put the cup under or I put the pitcher under, which do you see how beautiful this is? Beautiful, phenomenal, and aesthetically pleasing. All right. And I get perfectly filtered water. With the advanced filtration that this has, my water always comes out tasting phenomenal. And I know that it is very safe to drink. Since I am on a weight loss journey, it is very, very important that I stay hydrated and avoid harmful substances in water, especially tap water. I know some people drink tap water, you know, do you? But I live in East Orange. I don't think the water that's safe, you feel me? This filter also saves money by not having to buy bottled water as much. I still buy it, but I usually buy it for guests. It's also eco-friendly, and most importantly, it is so ADHD friendly, y'all. This was so simple to install. It literally took me less than 20 minutes to get this running. SimPure water filters are very versatile. You could get one for the counter like this. They They also have under the sink water filters and more. These can be used at home, at the office. They even have on the go use water filters. Like, y'all, SimPure has got you covered. With their customer satisfaction guarantee, SimPure literally covers all the boxes for one of the best water filtration systems out there. I absolutely love it. I've been using it for the past like 2 to 3 months now. And I will say, like, y'all, I've been staying super duper hydrated. I absolutely just love everything about it. And I'm more than likely going to get another one for my parents. If you guys would like to try SimPure, make sure you guys head down to the description and or the pinned comment down below. Use my special link and or discount code for a special discount off your order. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. Ghost jobs are something that are becoming way more common, where honestly, to be quite frank, a lot of people are genuinely not giving a fuck about these jobs anymore. Why? Well, a lot of people say that it's a generational thing. Right? Generation Z, they're getting out of college, they're lazy as hell, they don't want to do shit. A lot of people are saying like millennials, you know, they're starting to realize their potential, they want to start businesses. And then you have generation, what the fuck is before them? Generation, there you go, X. Oh, that's like my parents. Okay, boomers. Okay. Boom, let's start over. So everybody's saying essentially Generation Z is lazy as hell, they don't want to do shit, they just want to get money and sit back and collect it. Meanwhile, millennials are realizing their potential, wanting to start businesses and not wanting to work a 9 to 5 or not wanting to work as hard as they traditionally used to. When it comes to Generation X and baby boomers, a lot of them are heading into retirement or early retirement because they just tired as fuck, okay? Like when you actually look at a lot of them look a lot older than what they is. I'm telling you right now, like even looking at my parents, I'm like, bro, you are way too young to be acting the way you act. Like my parents is what, like 50? Like, and they really be acting like they fucking 75. Like, be fucking for real. But I get it because it gets to a point where you've been working for over 20, 30, 40 years. Like, you don't want to be working like a dog no more, right? And then, of course, the silent generation is silent. Like, they dying off. Like, I hate to say it that way, no offense. But, like, they dying. Like, fuck they gonna do? So, a lot of these companies are stuck with a very serious problem for them. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. If I was a major corporation and I was tasked with having multiple employees and not understanding what to do if a majority of them were falling off from different generations due to different reasons, I wouldn't know what to do. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So I guess their logic, I wouldn't do this, okay? Their logic is, hey, you know what? In order to boost morale, let's create ghost jobs. Let's try to make them think they're gonna lose their jobs by creating listings of the positions that are already filled. Their positions, right? Let's make them move their asses. This is fucked up on every level. It's fucked up for the people that currently work there that are already tired and don't want to fucking be there and don't give a shit to get the check and are ready to quit any day. Like, honestly, these people genuinely don't give a fuck. Like, a lot of people these days really don't give a fuck no more. Like, there's some people that are like, yo, honestly, I'd rather live in a tent. I'd rather live in a tiny house than like literally succumb to this 9 to 5 bullshit, right? And then you got people that are actually actively trying to find a job that don't give a fuck. They'll take minimum wage. They really want a job, but you're putting out fake job listings in order to benefit your company and fuck up the employees that generally don't give a fuck. So it's a lose-lose on every end. Ghost jobs are essentially a double-edged sword. They are a way to get people to work harder, but at the same time, another way to collect data. Another theory is that a lot of these ghost jobs are specifically here for the future. And I believe this because there's been numerous times where I've like applied for a job maybe a year ago and they're now hitting me back up. Meanwhile, the job posting has been removed like a long time ago. And it's like, why are y'all now talking to me? Or like, I literally went through all the stages of an interview only for them to be like, hey, we actually want you for a future position that's coming up like later on in the future. Bitch, then why the fuck y'all waste my time like that? Like, time is money. Did you Google me, bitch? Like, I could have been filming. Like, and that sounds cocky, but like, no, dead ass. Time is money for everybody though. Like, the way you sit here and you waste people's time having them do all these interview processes, having them come to the office to do all these things and do these like practice tasks and shit only to tell them, oh yeah, we're not gonna hire you, go to hell. Like, literally, that's why nobody want want to work these jobs no more. This is why people would rather sell honey at home and make fucking bracelets and shake that ass on OnlyFans, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you really got people out here applying for jobs, going through interview processes, doing mock this, mock that, and you're not even gonna hire them. Like, at least just collect the data for the interview part. Like, you know, don't even let it get to the interview. Just collect the part for the application. It absolutely makes no sense to me that jobs are really doing this shit. And it's even crazier that people are even coming forward saying like, yeah, this was my job position. This is what I did. I'm sorry, you pieces of shit for even doing that shit. Like, I couldn't even stay at my damn dance job because of the morals, okay? Like, just because of the fact that these kids ain't have a curriculum. The kids that needed IEPs ain't had that shit. Kids didn't have fucking books. And that shit fucked me up. I lasted 2 months. And some of y'all talk about I lasted a couple years posting ghost jobs.
As a recruiter, I have posted hundreds of ghost jobs, but I promise you it is not what you think. So let's talk about what this actually is and what's actually happening in the job market. And by the way, just like quiet quitting, ghost jobs was a terribly misleading word. The definition is not what you think. And part of that is because on the employer side, employers are saying, I can't find people. And on the other side, job seekers are saying, I can't find a job. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you what I think is actually the problem in this job market rather than ghost positions. So the first reason that I may post a ghost job is because I'm continuously hiring in a position. So for instance, long ago, when I was doing this high volume recruitment, I would have to hire like 20 to 30 people in like Houston, Texas. And that would happen multiple times per year. So I would leave the position open and reach out to candidates as I could to get their interest over time about a particular position when it would open up. And I was continuously hiring people, so it was always open. That did not mean that I didn't hire anybody, and that did not mean that it was a ghost position. That is one of the criteria that's being used to talk about this. Number two is that nobody was actually hired out of that position. I hate this as a recruiter because not only does it waste your time as a job seeker, but it wastes my time as a recruiter and everyone else who's interviewing that person. But sometimes there are shifts and changes that happen. A contract is lost. The organization is restructured. Somebody decided that they made a bad call about what they needed on their team. And in that case, we are going to either pause or close a position. And while it is frustrating, I would rather a position be closed or paused versus having to lay somebody off. Number three, and I think this is really the most rampant in this job market, is that there were no qualified candidates. And that's really where I'm getting at with this entire video. My unpopular take, with there being one job seeker for every single open position, yet so many people not being hired, is because employers have not begun to shift their expectations around what a candidate looks like in this market. But you've got to understand that people are applying, when they're saying, oh, I applied to 100 jobs, 200, 300 jobs, they're applying to a variety of job titles. At least that's what I'm hearing from a career coach, right? So when a interviewer looks at, or a recruiter looks at your resume and you're applying to 100 different types of jobs, your resume does not resonate with what they have on a job description. And that's why, as human resources, as recruiters, as hiring managers, we really need to start talking about competency-based hiring, which is, we're not specifically looking for a skill, we are looking for a competency that allows somebody to be successful in this role. For instance, project management and using project management methodology is a skill, but somebody being organized, proactive, and being able to build relationships with others and informally manage others is a competency that allows you to be a great project manager.
I got fired from my second job because I wouldn't post a ghost job. So let me explain what I do for my second job, what I did for my second job. I was a hiring manager. I usually just post job listings sometimes on Indeed or other job listing websites for my company. I'm not going to explain what company that is because I can't do that. But I am going to talk about what I can talk about because I read through my NDA. I used to post ghost jobs, which are fake jobs to encourage our current employees to work harder. These jobs will be fake jobs, so you can apply for the listing, but not actually get hired. They're called ghost jobs. You're probably wondering, I applied for all these places, why am I not getting callbacks? You might have applied for a ghost job, which isn't a real job. It's just put there to show that we're looking for new hires at higher rates to get our current employees to work harder, as an incentive to make them work hard, as opposed to increasing the base pay or the base rate. And I've made maybe 300 ghost job listings. I've made a lot. I've made so many. It's insane. And what messes me up is that they're still doing it. And I got into a little bit of a scuffle, a fracas, one might say, with my previous hire manager. My hire manager said, hey, you stop posting ghost job listings. What's going on, buddy? It's really working. It's helping our team morale. I said, listen, this is the first time I've ever said this in my life. I don't feel good about doing this. This might be the first time I've ever said that. I don't feel good about, usually I have like no moral, no ethics about anything. I just didn't feel good at all about doing it, despite the fact that I was getting a massive bag from it. And he said, well, we need somebody to do it, and you're the best we've got. I'm not going to continue to post ghost job listings so our employees can act like they are scared to lose their jobs. That ruins their mental. It destroys their mental health deeply. And he said, that's HR's job, not ours. So I'm talking to him, and I'm arguing. And at this point, he's shouting, I'm calm. So I'm thinking I can take it to HR, and he says, you know, we're probably going to have to talk about this later, but you should clock out for the day. I said, I don't want to clock out for the day because we're not done talking about this specific issue. This is insane. This is psychotic. So I go cool off. I talk to my friends in the Discord. We're cooling off. We're talking about it. Another one of my friends does the same job as I do. He also posts ghost jobs. And it's disgusting. It's not just my company. It is every company I'm seeing doing this. It's Walmart doing this. It's Amazon doing this. I'm not going to disclose my company, but it's Best Buy doing this. They're posting these fake job listings to trick you into thinking, oh, well, they're hiring a bunch of other things, or because just in case you're looking to move to a new job or talk about needing a pay raise, and they'll post a new job at a higher rate. Say you got hired in at $17 an hour. They'll post a ghost job at $22 an hour. And if you try to apply for that, they'll clock you for that. If you try to apply for that, they'll clock you for that, and they'll know it's you because they got your social security number and you applying for the job. It is a disgusting business practice. Because as soon as you apply to get a higher position or anything like that, they'll talk to you about it. And they'll ask you, why do you want a higher position? Do you want more pay? Are you dedicated to the company? They'll give you a performance review. They'll check everything about you just to see. I recommend, this is my honest opinion, this is my honest recommendation, doing the bare minimum at jobs. Bare minimum. I mean bare minimum at jobs. Just coast. Just coast by doing the bare minimum at jobs. Don't try to do anything extra or crazy. Just coast by doing the bare minimum at jobs. I'm so serious. Because I didn't know this was so much of it. I thought it was just my job doing this. I thought we were like the monopoly on doing this. That's what I thought. But I'm applying to other jobs. I'm applying to other places, and I'm noticing the ghost jobs. I'm noticing that there are many of them. There are so many ghost jobs that are just fake. They're just fake jobs. I am sickened. I'm disheartened. I'm disgusted. I'm angry because I don't have my second job anymore, by the way. It was a small job. I worked 20 hours a week just doing the analytics and the hiring for a company. That's all I did. But I still work at Amazon. But man, I'm just sickened.
Like, in what world do we start saying to ourselves, like, damn, we need more morals. Oh, damn, we should do better in life. Like, in what? Like, I really, really genuinely want to know. And in what capacity do we say, hey, I need to do better? Like, I need to have a better moral compass. Because for me, when I start seeing something that's wrong, when I start seeing like a scam, it gets me upset. I get real riled up about it. That's why I started changing my video topics on this main channel to fit this. And even before that, I was talking about the injustice of these parents dragging their kids online because I don't fucking like it. When I see something I don't like, I don't do it. So the fact that they got people out here talk about some, yeah, you know, my job was posting fake job postings, posting ghost jobs. And you really got the unmitigated gall, okay? In the words of Judge Million, the unmitigated gall to come on the internet and say that shit with no fucking shame. Thank you for giving us the content. Thank you for giving us the information. But it's just like the people that work at the place like Smart Circle that I talked about earlier. It's like, oh yeah, I was a manager at Smart Circle for 5 years. Yeah, I was this for 10 years. Bitch, you fucking knew what you were doing. I don't want to fucking hear it. Like, it's just like, be fucking for real. Like, anything over like 6 months of being in some bullshit that you know is a goddamn scam, I don't want to hear it because you're not fucking dumb. Unless you are literally special needs, like literally, like you literally have an issue where you cannot comprehend things, I don't want to fucking hear it. Because at that point, you don't give a fuck. You're doing things for a check and you have absolutely no morals. And if ain't nobody tell your ass that, I'm gonna tell your ass that. Because the people in your life are gonna tell you, oh, it wasn't your fault. The universe provides. The Lord would have gave you whatever the fuck you needed. Your ancestors would have gave you whatever the fuck you needed. Your spirit guides would have gave you whatever the fuck you needed. You ain't had to scam people. You ain't had to lie, cheat, steal. I don't want to hear none of that shit. And I'm sick and tired of people acting like they sympathize with these people. They ain't shit to sympathize with. Do you sympathize with the people that was out here applying to these ghost jobs. Like, child, like, it is absolutely crazy. So if you were sitting here trying to find a job, okay, currently trying to find a job, and you're like, yo, why the fuck can't I find a job? It's because a lot of these jobs are not real. Another reason you might not be getting hired at all is because a lot of jobs literally only hire from within. They will not hire outsiders whatsoever unless you are absolutely extraordinary. So what they do is, to make it seem like they actually do hire outside, they go and they post these jobs on Indeed, on LinkedIn, on Glassdoor, whatever the case may be, but they know damn well they ain't never gonna look at that application because they're not really looking, okay? They know damn well they're going to hire Bob on the 4th floor, Jill on the 2nd floor, Bob's aunt, Jill's sister, Ashley's cousin. They're not gonna hire you, Shaniqua. They're not gonna hire you, John. They're not gonna hire you, Peter. They don't give a fuck about your application. At that point, they're just collecting data. If nobody told you, now you know. Like, legit, these jobs don't be hiring for real. And it's very obvious at this point. I had a feeling about this for a while, but yeah. Y'all some fucked up bums for this shit.
Okay, so let me explain how to tell when you actually are applying for a ghost job. The posting date. The posting date is very important to telling when a ghost job is. If it was posted 4 days ago, 5 days ago, there's a high chance that you shouldn't click on that link, because that is showing that, oh, hey, guess what? We're hiring now. We're hiring now. That's the first thing. If it doesn't have a timestamp, that is also a very, just don't do it. Check the job description. Job description matters a lot when it comes to checking if a ghost job. If the job description is something insane, and I mean insane, where it doesn't really describe the job, that is also a way to tell when it is a ghost job. That is also a method to do that. Best solution, and this is gonna sound psychotic considering Indeed and things of that variety, and some people can't get up and do it, call the job. Call the job or go up there. Calling the job is the best way to do it, trying to figure out how to get the contacting manager, or call the job and say, hey, I just got told to figure out where your manager is, and they said they had a job for me, and figure that out. Calling the place is the best solution, even if you have to go through the minutia of figuring out how to find the number. Perhaps, when I say perhaps, if you go on Reddit and look and try to find where they put the jobs low number, the number is the best way. For instance, calling McDonald's. You can't just call the store McDonald's. It is a lot more difficult to do that. But if you call the hiring part of McDonald's and ask for the manager number, the number line to that store, a lot easier to do that. Simpler way to do that. The job I worked for, the best way to get a job at the job that I had, you had to call me. Like my direct line. Like you had to call I had a direct line. That was the difficult aspect. I was in an office, you had to call my direct line and ask for my extension. Figure out the extensions, figure out the small minutia of that. That's the way to do it. Some companies will not hire you unless you can figure that out, because it shows initiative, it shows drive. That's the best way to do it. If you see a job listing online that you're not getting a call back, you're wondering, I applied for 100 jobs, why am I not getting a call back? This is so strange. Yeah, because you didn't go the extra mile to find the actual numbers. It seems scummy and weird to do that, but that's how ghost jobs work. Kind of like ghost restaurants, where you see a restaurant where it's within another restaurant, like Mr. Beast Burger, those restaurants right there, that's Reese back there. There's a bunch of things that you can look out for. There's so many methods in which you could do that. It's very, very, very hard to do though. If you see it on Indeed as well, cross-referencing the company website to make sure that the company in itself is hiring and not just on Indeed, that happens too, where they'll post a job listing on Indeed or some job searching website and they won't have it on the website. That's messed up too. A lot of companies have social media. A lot of companies locally have social media. Check the company's social media and see if they're actually doing the hiring rate. You'll see a job that says we're offering for $25 an hour, but it says up to $25 an hour. Up to $25 an hour. The starting rate could be $17. Don't be manipulated by that, and don't accept a job that won't hire you at the higher rate. That is also an issue there. And as I said prior, contacting the company directly, that's what you can do.
I will say, for real, if many of you guys have had such a hard time trying to find a job and you really cannot find one, if you have a skill, try to market that. Try to start your own thing, because it's better than sitting around trying to apply to 500 jobs a day and you legit can't find shit. It's to the point where I've heard people can't even find a job at McDonald's, can't even find a job at Amazon. Actually, if you can't find a job at Amazon, that's fucking crazy, because their turnover rate is hideous. Like, anyone can find a job at Amazon, FedEx, UPS. Like, y'all, like, you could definitely find a job there. But I have heard some cases of people applying to those places and like they're not hiring, or people are not really close to the warehouses, so it's not really worth the drive, or whatever the case may be, or the people don't drive and they can't get there. I really want you guys, like, understand, if you have a skill, definitely go for it. Like, go for whatever it is that you think is marketable, because that's more than likely going to help you better than sitting here applying for a lot of these ghost jobs. How can you avoid applying for a ghost job? Most of the jobs that aren't ghost jobs are the ones that say hiring immediately, and the ones that you can verify by someone personally. Now, I know a lot of you guys may not have connects, but sometimes you know someone who knows someone that works somewhere. So honestly, try to ask people like, hey, is your job hiring? Or hey, do you know about this job? Or do you know about this industry? Do they typically hire? Try to see how many applicants have applied. Like, if you see 100+ applicants, more than likely it's a ghost job. If you see a job consistently popping back up, more than likely it's a ghost job. Like, y'all, I've had to go through this so many times. If you see a job where the salary range just don't make sense, if it don't make sense, it don't, and it ain't real, it's probably a ghost job. It's more than likely not too good to be true, especially in this economy. A lot of jobs are lowballing, and they dead ass serious, okay? They really trying to pay you $50K to do an $80K plus type job. It's a ghost job. If they took over a month to respond, and then they literally just tugging your ass around throughout the interview process, more than likely it was a ghost job, and they just fucking with you. I swear to God they are. Because I've been through this too many times. Too many of my friends went through this too many times. My mom has went through this too many times. More than likely they just fucking around. Like, they might call you back eventually, but it's like, don't even bank on it. Just keep fucking applying. You know, it's really sad that we even have to go through this and have this conversation, but honestly, don't get fucked. Start working on something that is lucrative for you, to earn some money. Try to look for virtual jobs. Try to do something that you know you could get hired for right away, like substitute teaching. Personally, I feel like you should have the passion to teach, to be a teacher. However, substitute teaching does kind of give you that leeway of not being too attached and not having to do too much. Of course, warehouse jobs are always hiring, but of course, you might not be able to find one depending on where you live. Being a server, like, you know, certain things you could kind of almost always get hired at. Go to hiring events, okay? There's so many all the time. They're very difficult to find nowadays. I don't know why, but if you can find like an email list or something to be part of, do that. And Eventbrite, okay? Eventbrite has a lot of hiring events. Go on there. You will find hiring events. I'm thinking of trying to do like a job fair hiring event type of situation for my social media company, Media Hustle. More on that 2025. I'm just gonna try to figure out how I can really do that, because I have a lot of friends in a lot of different industries. So with that being said, stay tuned. And if you guys are, you know, trying to build your social media following, I do one-on-one consultations, social media management, social media audits, and more. Make sure you guys head down to the description box to learn more. I love you guys so very much. I don't get to tell you guys that often. Don't tell nobody I said that, because y'all gonna ruin my gangsta, okay? Make sure you guys check out my merchandise. This is my The Mel and Chill tie-dye hoodie. I absolutely love it. You know, we got this blanket or whatever the case may be. It got sage on it somewhere. It's really cute. Really, really cute. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you guys check out my sponsor, Pure Life. Let me know if you guys have been victims of ghost job listings, and how hard was it to find the job that you currently have now. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.